Throughout the history of the Commonwealth, there have been many Kentuckians ready to stand for the cause of progress. Kentuckians who have dedicated their lives to working for justice and fair play. Kentuckians who have envisioned a better world, a better nation, a better Kentucky. Abraham Lincoln probably never thought of himself as a progressive, but he definitely believed, as he put it, in the common right of humanity, and his convictions and actions were firmly with an eye to a better future. "I am a slow walker," he said, "but I never walk back." Because of men and women like Mr. Lincoln, the Commonwealth has a history of accomplishments we as Kentuckians can take pride in. The first interracial and coeducational college in the South was in Kentucky. 19th century Kentucky women were national leaders in the fight for women's suffrage, the adoption of child labor laws, and in the 20th century, for civil rights. Kentucky was the first Southern state to enact a civil rights law, and the first Southern state to enact a fair housing law. But what if modern-day Kentuckians worked together to make our community and our state even better?
What if?
What if?
What if we work together?
What if?
¿Qué pasaría? ¿Qué posibilidad?
What if there was an organization dedicated to strengthening Kentucky's LGBTQ community and growing the ideals of tolerance,
justice, possibility, and pride?
What if? What if?
Questions such as these are the driving force behind Just Fund Kentucky, a nonprofit organization founded on the belief that education is the key to eliminating discrimination against lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender Kentuckians. Throughout Kentucky's history, gays, lesbians, bisexuals, and transgender individuals have faced exclusion, discrimination, and legal prosecution simply because of their sexual orientation or gender identity.
But in 2006, a bold and unprecedented idea emerged.
What if there was an endowment to support all the inspired and courageous LGBTQ anti-discrimination work going on around the state? An endowment that could help groups raise funds quickly for educational campaigns on anti-discrimination legislation. An endowment created by Kentuckians for Kentuckians to create grants that could bypass the time-consuming process of fundraising that can often hamper individual efforts. An endowment that would have a perpetual funding stream for education efforts for the next generation and beyond.
With that vision, Just Fund Kentucky was born.
And soon, an extraordinary individual came forward with a visionary challenge.
Cliff Todd, a successful businessman and longtime equality advocate from Glendale, Kentucky, pledged $500,000 if, within 4 years, other supporters would match his gift.
A $500,000 match.
It might seem like a daunting task, but Just Fund Kentucky made it more than fundraising.
You could call it fundraising?
Because we had a lot of fun.
Kentuckians, individuals, and corporate sponsors eagerly stepped forward to support the cause to complete the match through creative events, performances, and private dinner parties. As the deadline approached, Cliff Todd's challenge, dollar for dollar, had been not only matched, but exceeded. And so, the Cliff Todd Endowment was created, establishing the seed money needed to award grants to grassroots and community-based organizations that would advance equality for LGBTQ citizens. Today, all around us, from Paducah to Pikeville, we see the impact of the Cliff Todd Endowment. With support and funding to Kentucky college campuses for programs to educate campus staff and students about the transgender and LGBTQ community. Programs that train leaders from every part of Kentucky on issues of homophobia. A statewide fairness coalition to promote fairness ordinances and anti-discrimination protections. Support for programs that break the silence for LGBTQ youth. Funding for programs that help to fight bullying in schools. And grants to support workshops on transgender identity and workshops for parents of transgender kids. Grants to examine health and fairness issues in the African American community. grants to produce materials for classrooms that educate about Central Kentucky's LGBTQ population. Grants to create curriculum training on LGBTQ issues that raise awareness and sensitivity among healthcare workers at the University of Louisville and the University of Kentucky Medical Schools. An ombudsman program to improve the quality of care for LGBTQ residents living in long-term care facilities. An institute to collect and preserve books and publications, electronic media, photographs, and other records of Kentucky's LGBTQ community. Support for theatrical performances like This Is My Heart for You by Silas House, a play that explores growing up gay in Appalachia. Support for art exhibitions, concerts, and film festivals. These are only a few of the many programs that have created and continue to create awareness, education, and action. These works, supported by Just Fund Kentucky, touch every age group and demographic.
And they reach to every region of the state.
And every facet of experience, from legal issues and education to leadership and celebration.
To all of our grant recipients over the years, we say thank you.
Thank you. Muchas gracias.
Thank you for the work you do.
Your work lifts us up, educates, and makes our communities and our state a better place.
Thank you.
Thank you for attending our fundraisers.
For volunteering.
Thank you for believing it could work and for believing in the future.
Now is the time for all of us to clarify our mindset, to move forward in a direction that will build an even stronger, sustainable Just Fund Kentucky. The potential is strong. The momentum is present. What will make the difference?
People.
People who don't walk back.
People unafraid to stand up.
People unafraid to stand up and stand firm for what is right, just, and fair. People willing to invest, not just money, but ideas and energy.
The fight for justice and fairness is a fight as old as our state. And every generation must renew and redouble the efforts even to keep things as they are, much less to continue to make things better. If you are ready to look to the future, to lead the way, to deliver lasting value to justice in Kentucky, we invite you to join us in our work. In the spirit of justice, please consider including Just Fund Kentucky in your will or in a charitable trust, insurance policy, or IRA accounts, or joining the Legacy Club, a group of individuals who have collectively decided to leave part of their estate to work for LGBTQ fairness. Please consider hosting a dinner party and help build momentum and raise additional funds for the cause. Or make a one-time gift, regardless of its size.
With your help, the endowment will continue to grow and accomplish even more. Just Fund Kentucky is an army of volunteers. That means your money doesn't pay for an office or paid staff. In fact, all funds raised are secure at the Bluegrass Community Foundation, where only the earnings from the Cliff Todd Endowment are used for grant giving, leaving the endowment in place for generations to come.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time.
Just Fund Kentucky, justice for all.
For more information, visit our website
at justfundky.org.
This video presentation was funded by the Brown-Forman Corporation, Michael Breeding Media, and QX.net.